This is the Horsepower Hour.
Yes, hello and welcome to another Horsepower Hour, the fastest growing and most frugal, by the way, Scott. We've talked about that on the show before. This is the most frugal podcast on the face of the planet. Do you know why? No, you don't. I'm going to tell you right now. It's because we put out all this amazing content right here, right now, for free. All that we ask is that you like, you share it with a friend. We do appreciate you doing that for us. Also, Coy's not here, but he has been trying to get a review rally going. Coy really wants to see those reviews come in. We've gotten some amazing reviews over on iTunes, some fantastic reviews over on the Facebook page, facebook.com/horsepowerhour, or excuse me, the Horsepower Hour. So come over and leave a review there if you don't mind. Filling in for the man, the myth, the legend, F. Coy Forticus and Masterson Jr. Sr. Esquire, Duke of Earl Grey, is Scott Hart. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Good, buddy. I feel like that lead up telling people that Coy wasn't here kind of overshadowed the fact that you were here, but I don't want you to feel overshadowed because this guy, ladies and gentlemen, he has got some shit going on. Normally it's not pretty, but sometimes it has to do with cars. Tell us about what you drive, Scott.
Let's see. I've got the 2016 Chevy SS. That's a fun little car.
And
the Honda S2000.
And
my little Duramax. And that's it right now.
What? You actually have one more. You got that CT70 you drug out.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that little gem.
Yeah, your Honda Trail from when you were a kid?
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, teenager?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's been in the family a while.
Yeah. Well, it's actually in pretty good condition aside from just a couple, key failure points. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, it's missing the kickstart.
Uh-huh.
So, minor details.
Got to push start that
It's a Honda. Yeah, exactly.
It'll run forever, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's parts everywhere. Eventually it'll work.
Now, the Chevy SS, I know a lot of people are not real familiar with that car. And as a matter of fact, the production numbers are quite low, aren't they?
Yeah, under 12,000 in a 4-year run.
For a GM vehicle?
That's
real
kidding.
Short.
Yeah, so they're over in Australia as a Holden Commodore and basically LS3 four-door. Fun little car. And then I decided to put a Procharger on mine.
P1?
D1X.
D1X? Mm-hmm. And what boost is that good for?
It's good for up to 16, 18 pounds. I think people can run them higher than that, but...
That's the thing about Prochargers. Like I always hear, because when you think superchargers, I come from, an import background, obviously. I'm a Mazda guy, Coy's a Honda guy. And it's not like you're not a Honda guy, but Prochargers are always kind of a weird thing for me to wrap my head around because like, oh no, it's not the big one. It's just the D1X. Like that's not the entry level, but it's, it's the small one. Oh, what kind of boost is that good for? 30 pounds. Wait, what?
Yeah, they definitely do sometimes, but
yeah, they go crazy.
Yeah.
I think I was watching an episode of Hot Rod Garage, and I think they put a P2 or a D2, I don't know, one of those Prochargers. They ran 7 or 8 pounds through this motor. I think it was a factory Ford 351 Windsor, and made some decent numbers. And then right at the end, when they're getting ready to sign off, one of the guys was like, "Well, aren't we going to do a poll with the Procharger in like its boost range where it likes to be, where it's happy?" Which I think was 14 or 15 pounds, and the motor made 700 and some odd horsepower. It's crazy.
Yeah, they definitely make some nasty power.
So it's an LS3. Mm-hmm. It's a 4-door.
Mm-hmm.
What did the Pontiac? I'm losing it. Their 4-door sedan. It was basically
G8.
The G8.
Yeah, the G8 GT.
Yeah, is this pretty much the same platform? Okay.
Yeah, similar platform.
And that was an LS3 as well?
No, that was, I don't remember which LS.
LS6 or LS7, I think.
I'm not exactly sure on that one.
I remember it having the air quotes
I know it wasn't
Corvette
a 6.2.
motor.
Yeah, I think they put 6 liters in some of them, but I'm not exactly sure, to be honest.
Well, speaking of funny things, that is kind of an interesting thing about the LSs. I know the LS3 blocks are kind of sought after for being a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah, just a little bit bigger displacement.
Right, that 6.2.
Mm-hmm.
I think to get more than 6.2, you need to start going with aftermarket stroker stuff, don't you?
Well, they had like the 7-liter LS too. That was what, the LS7?
Was that the LS7? Was a 7-liter?
Yeah.
Shit.
That thing was, that was nasty. That came in like the 5th gen Z28s.
427 cubic inch. That's a big, well, it's a small block, but it's a big bore small block.
Yeah. Big nasty engine.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next step for that? I mean, are you just going to kind of ride the high? What horsepower are you making now?
We've never put on the dyno, but it's somewhere between 750 and 850 to the wheels. So it ran a 10.8 on the quarter.
For a street car, do you really need much more than that?
Well, that's just it. Anymore, I mean, it kind of gets harder to drive on the street. So.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
What's it tuned with?
What is it, the HPI?
Oh, it's the HPI tuner? Meth injection?
Yeah, has meth injection as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of the dirty secret of like when you're taking cars like that and boosting them. little meth water injection.
Yeah.
That never hurts anybody.
No, not at all. But you never tell anyone about that.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not technically a power enhancer. I mean, it's just there to cool down your intake charge. But of course, definitely. Cooling your intake charge gives you another 75 horsepower. So, it kind of works out.
Mm-hmm. It does.
In the EcoBoost world, there are a number of guys that do the Devil's Own kit or the Snow kit or whatever, and they'll do the methanol injection. As a matter of fact, I've seen some photos of guys that will just put like a flat pack 5-gallon or 3-gallon tank behind their back seats, so they just don't have to worry about it. Like they fill it with methanol water mix, and then it lasts 8 tanks of gas.
Oh yeah.
And then they have some kind of a light that they plumb to the dash that comes on when they're getting low. It's kind of genius.
That's how mine is. I have it completely underneath the trunk lid in the back. So it's just a 10-gallon container in the back and just fill it up, shoot maybe every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So.
Extra 100 horsepower probably with that boost allows you to run pump gas. I mean, there's lots of good things there.
Intake temps are like 34 degrees. So.
If you didn't have that, would you consider running E85 or is it easier just to have the methanol?
Well, it's way easier to run methanol. I mean, there's no 85 around here.
Right. I think you'd have to go to Eugene, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. When I ran E85 in my turbo all-wheel drive Protege in Portland, it was even a little bit difficult to find back then.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine back in the day.
Yeah.
It's hard to find now.
I had to switch back to pump gas, which was good news, bad news, because and the weird thing about pump gas is it's all supposed to be coming from the same place, right? I mean, I've heard people say, go to AMPM because it's the same gas that Chevron's getting. I remember, I did this twice. I stopped after it happened the second time. I filled up with premium at the Safeway gas station in Gresham. And I'm notoriously bad at running my gas all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. Notorious.
Yes.
Within a day or two, I started getting ping, and I had to go in and change my tune, turn the boost down a little bit, and get it to stop pinging for that entire, and pretty much just take it easy for that entire gallon, or excuse me, filling of the gas from Safeway. I then go and fill up at a Shell or a Chevron. I'm able to turn the boost back up and no detonation. I don't know if maybe it was just because of that location. Maybe there was water in the tanks.
Yeah, that happened to me too when I was tuning the SS, because I was using a remote tuner and I filled up at Chevron because, the whole Techron and all that. And I had the same thing. The tuner was like, hey, something's totally off. So I actually, if I fill up here in town, I only get Safeway.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, that makes me feel better because I usually get all my gas at Safeway for the wife and my truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Get that discount, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't shop at Safeway quite enough to get the big, heavy discounts. But once in a while, we'll get the 20 cents off a gallon or 30 cents off a gallon. You always got to take it because, shit, dude, gas is up to $3.50, 51 cents here, I think, today.
Yeah, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is, especially for premium. It's over $4 now. Yeah.
Forget about the ethanol free. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't checked price on that lately.
The places that I normally get it around here, I think have been out of ethanol free at least a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was hovering around $4 back when gas was $2 a gallon. So I can only imagine what we're at now.
Yeah, it's probably $6.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
Well, you need it for that lawnmower, that high-performance Cub Cadet.
True. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Got to pull those wheelies across cul-de-sac.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of high-performance lawnmowers, Have you started on your shopping cart yet?
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, Scott.
Well, I'm trying to get that Shop & Co. one.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, having trouble finding one, so.
Well, we might be able to hook you up. I've been debating back and forth, and we are, of course, talking about the Bum Rush 2000. Everyone's excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to lay some rules down here real soon because I keep getting hit up by people that are like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Last week, Coy openly said he's just going to get a motorcycle and mount a shopping cart to the front of it. That, of course, is not going to fly, okay? I don't have autonomy with this, all right? It's me and Coy, but I have to find some way to convince him that's not the right way to do this. I don't want some dude just getting a wrecked sport bike and throwing a shopping cart on the front.
Be fun to watch.
Well, it ruins the essence. So here's where I'm at. And again, this is a conversation that we're all having. If I am trying to overstep, then I want people to let me know. But I'm thinking the first 3 rules, and I've been pretty consistent with this, but I am going to add a stipulation right now. I think the engine needs to be in the basket of the shopping cart, and the driver cannot be in the basket of the shopping cart. That is because of reason number 3, but I'll get to reason number 2. One single driven wheel that comes from the shopping cart needs to be applied. One single driven wheel. So I'm creating
you can't do like a solid axle in the rear end?
No, I'm creating these rules so that we don't have some dude in a shifter cart that just puts a Costco basket over the top of it and goes, I'm racing now. That's not the way this works.
Well, he could just disconnect part of it.
No, we're not doing that. The engine has to be mounted to the shopping cart basket and inside of the shopping cart basket, number 1.
That'll kind of contain it to a small area, too.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Number 2, single driven wheel coming through the bottom.
I don't like that rule.
Well, you can interpret it how you want.
Okay, all right.
We're adding limitations for a reason.
So you could power a wheel that could just power your axle.
Single driven wheel to the ground. How's that? You got me there.
All right.
You got me.
The grudge racer in me is just going to pick this apart.
I'm glad you are, because once we set certain limitations, then I'm just going to let you run free.
All right.
And if you show up with a shifter cart with a shopping basket on top of it, I can just kick you out wholesale. It's fine.
Well, if it's Lopin, don't hate me.
Yeah. I'll probably still let you race. You just won't win.
Well, I will win.
You'll win.
Coy's going down.
But no one will recognize your win.
Okay, well, minor detail.
Rule number 3, it has to look like you're pushing the shopping cart. There's some things that I have been considering. There's something called a sulky that goes on the back of commercial lawnmowers. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It is a 2-wheeled platform that you stand on. Essentially, it's if you connected this to the back of your riding or your push lawnmower, like a self-propelled push lawnmower, but you stand on it and now the lawnmower is pulling you around.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen some landscape crews run that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to use a sulky if you've got a heavy enough motor in it to where you can just build yourself a platform off of the back that is part of the shopping cart and ride on that. That's fine. If you want to build yourself a little chariot to ride in and have the shopping cart pull you around, that's fine too. But rule number 3, it has to look like you are pushing a shopping cart.
Might be kind of fun if you had like 2 shopping carts. You have to ride in one, and then the one in front pulls you or something.
No, see, this is why we're laying out rules right now. That's not the grudge racer in him is coming out by just flat out denying that there are any rules. There's no rules. We don't need rules.
They're meant to be broken. I
honestly envisioned this, and I've said this a number of times. I envisioned this as a spec race, but as I started speccing parts out, I realized way too expensive.
Fair.
I mean, the kind of build that I would want to do conservatively would be about $500.
I was going to say, you should put like some kind of dollar limit on it.
I don't want to put a dollar limit on it. We're going to know who the assholes are. Because again, if somebody shows up with half a CBR in the front of their shopping cart, they're an asshole, right?
I might be an asshole. Just saying.
And no one was surprised.
Not at all.
You know what is surprising, though, is the news we have from this week. You actually were the one that turned me on to this, Scott.
Giggity.
I shouldn't say that you were the one that turned me on, but if the shoe fits, you wear it, right?
Exactly.
Sorry, I got my mouse pad wet, so I couldn't move it. There we go. Jeff Lutz, man, wrecked his car.
That was so sad too. That car was gorgeous.
Can I be honest?
Maybe.
It kind of looks like a taxi cab to me.
Kinda, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fast as fuck one.
Well, yes. So for those of you out there that only know Jeff Lutz from Street Outlaws.
Mm-hmm. Street Outlaws.
For people out there that only know Jeff Lutz from Lot Lizards, he's actually quite a respected race car driver. Fabricator. He won Drag Week 2014, and then he won Drag Week again in 2016 with a different car.
Yeah, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. That's how you know he's a badass.
Oh, yeah, coming back 2 years later with a whole new setup.
Yeah, definitely. But the dude's a badass. He really is. Mm-hmm. Best fabricator in the country, probably.
I'm sure
I'll say it. I know there's somebody better, but
yeah,
it sounded good.
I'm honestly going to send this over to Derek Quorum over at All In Fab. Ooh. He's going to be very upset.
Would you be upset if somebody said Jeff Lutz was better than you? I'd be like, no.
How much better?
Upset.
How much better?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter, because where do I land? That's like saying it doesn't matter how many guys I've slept with. You're here now. Well, yeah, but am I number 126 or am I number 2?
I don't know if you ever want to know that number.
You don't.
You definitely don't.
No.
For more than one reason.
There's lots of reasons.
There are.
Herpes is one of them.
Well, gonna sieve herpelades.
So, Jeff, we are not going to show it here because every video I've found is really poor quality, but he has broken down in several interviews what exactly happened. And so in his view, the racetrack they were on at the 8th mile, near the wall, apparently, there's a bit of a dip. And it's enough of a dip to where it can unsettle the car if you're not being careful. Well, during this run, he apparently was not being careful enough. He got a little bit too close to that wall, hit that dip, and hit the brakes. And according to him, that's the last thing he remembers. After that, he woke up and the car was upside down. Now, we haven't seen the video because it was during filming for Street Outlaws. And so the Discovery Channel is going to have that absolutely on lock.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But we do have a few photos here. This comes from hotrod.com.
Which, by the way, the photos that they show, did you see Jeff Lutz getting all emotional and everything because the photos were released before he could release them?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I kind of have mixed opinions on that.
I could chalk it up to him almost dying in an accident or maybe thinking he was going to die. And then people posting photos before he's even really gotten his head back on straight. I could see that as being disconcerting.
It's 2021 though, everything's recorded.
But he's an old man.
True.
He's the fastest boomer in the country.
Oh yeah, the Boomer Bel Air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to play devil's advocate, but there is a part of me that's like, meh, that might have been shitty, but I also see where you're coming from. It's a hard thing these days. I mean, everybody's got a camera, everybody's got a cell phone. Hell, people are probably going to be complaining about why these photos are so shitty. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, yeah. He totally could have got a better angle.
There's lots of photos of just the stock vehicle, but there are a few photos of the wreck. That's a pretty nasty wreck, bro. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive that he walked away.
Oh, yeah.
He unbuckled himself and then got out of the car on his own power.
He was quoted as saying something when he crawled out of the car.
What?
Motherfucker! You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, no.
I'll wait for the video on Discovery.
That's widespread news. What you're going to hear on Discovery is... And then they're going to cut over to Big
Chief.
I almost said Big Cock. Big Chief.
Oh, yeah. Well, he acts like it.
Big Crow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Big Crow.
Black Crow. Black Crow.
There we go.
He's the BBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going to cut over to BBC and Daddy Dave. Dude, I fucking swear. This show.
Well, and then they got Doc.
Doc what?
Just Doc.
There is homoeroticism in the show. We can all agree on that. But the names of some of this stuff, like, would you honestly want yourself to be called Daddy Dave on national TV?
I don't know.
Papa Scott?
Oh, well, Depends if Doc came over.
I'm just saying, like, if they decided that my street race name for some show on Discovery was going to be Fanny Andy, I would not be happy. That's not how this
he chose it. The dude has such a big ego. He chose his name.
Maybe
he did.
Well, he made the wrong choice.
Well, he does win. When you win, you can kind of be whatever the hell you want.
I ain't calling him Daddy. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
And if you've ever been on his Facebook, you can see the ladies that call him Daddy, and it ain't impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off in the weeds here. Jeff Lutz's accident. What do you think will come of this? Anything, just more publicity for the Discovery Channel? Do you think anything is going to change with what they're doing with the show? He's not the first to wreck. He's not the first high-profile wreck.
This isn't the first time he's wrecked on the show.
Right.
So, it's just going to keep happening. Discovery's going to eat it up. They just keep getting the ratings.
They're not on the street anyways. They're on a private, closed course. It's their own. Yes, it is a street, but it's closed off and it's been prepped like a drag strip. So even though it's asphalt, it is a prepared drag area, So, it's not necessarily any more of a safety concern than there would be at the track.
No.
Stuff happens at the track.
Yeah.
So, something can happen anywhere.
Yeah, this shows it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I am excited to see what he builds. It's going to be a 57.
Well, it kind of has to be. I think he alluded to the car, quote unquote, the car, obviously not this car, but a car similar to this one is going to make a comeback. I love when racers say that. Oh, this car is coming back. It's just going to be a whole new chassis and a whole new body and a whole new shell and all new parts.
His kid has a badass car too. Have you seen that?
The rear-wheel drive big block Civic, yeah.
Yeah, that thing is badass.
Mm-hmm. Is it a CRX? I thought it was a Civic hatch.
You're right. It's a hatch.
EF Civic hatch, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an SI.
Why do I remember all these Honda chassis codes?
I don't know, because you hate the Hondas.
I don't hate Hondas. I
hate the owners.
I was driving by a second generation Integra today, and I was like, oh, nice. That's a cool looking DA Integra. And I just thought, why the fuck do I even know that?
Because you probably knew it was called a DA before you knew it was called an Integra.
Well, maybe.
That's how the Honda kids are.
I actually really enjoy seeing dudes that have the like 86, 87, 88 four-door Honda Civics and telling them, nice, you got ED. It is. It's an ED chassis code.
Yeah.
EF is the hatchback. ED is the four-door. I forget now what the two-door coupe is, but it doesn't matter because it's an old shitty Honda that nobody wants.
Yeah, true. They've all been so ratted out.
Wants it, but
I'd take an 89 SI.
We've kind of come full circle with Hondas, by the way. Have you noticed that recently? Like, Hondas are starting to drop in price again.
Yeah, but some of them are going way up.
Some specific ones, but there was a time there where, like in a Civic HX, the economy model was going for $4,000 because people just wanted Hondas. Now I'm starting to finally see them for $1,000, $900, $800, where they should be.
Yeah, true. They're all going to Subarus. It's kind of nice to see that change.
You had an Integra for years, right?
Yeah, several.
What's the story with that?
Got rid of it.
Because
the Honda owners.
Really?
No, honestly, they're theft magnets. They really are. That's why I got rid of all mine. Except for the S2000, of course. But
that's a new acquisition.
Yeah, newer acquisition. But yeah, they're theft magnets. You take just a credit card, you can get into a car. Super easy.
We kind of famously had a buddy that had 5 or 6 keys, and they weren't shaved. They were just worn down.
Yeah.
They were old, worn out junkyard keys, and they would open any Honda.
My buddy Jared has one of those. Yeah. Same thing. I was like, lock the keys in the car. He goes, I got a key for that. It's like, well, I only have one. He goes over, just jiggles it, wiggles it, does a little dance, and then boom, it's open.
I don't even know if you can call it like a bump key, but there's something about those locks. The only good news about that is that they won't always start the vehicle. They'll open the doors.
Yeah.
Right. but they won't always be able to unlock the ignition. And when they do unlock the ignition, sometimes it's just not quite enough. Like
the immobilizer.
Yeah. So that's the good news with those kind of sort of. I'm amazed more Festivas aren't stolen because we've had 3 Festivas now.
Well, who wants to steal a Festiva?
Well, yeah, great on gas mileage and easy to steal.
I don't think anyone who's out stealing cars is going to care about gas mileage.
Here's the thing. You would say, why would anybody steal a Chevy Citation? But it's because you can take a flathead screwdriver and literally use the palm of your hand and jam it into the ignition and then turn it and the car starts.
Well, that's most Chevys.
Granted, however, that makes them easy to steal. And if something is easy to steal, then it makes it a target, right?
Sometimes. Most of the time.
The majority of the time. Yeah. I'm glad you agreed with me, Scott. And now it's time for us to move on to our second news article. Do you want to take point on this one, my friend? You were very excited about it.
Which one? That's, the microchip shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
What's the deal, dude? How come everybody's short on microchips?
I mean, the same reason everything is getting blamed right now, right?
Corvid.
Yes, Corvid.
It's actually kind of a funny thing. So it's a mixture between production not being as high as it should be because of the COVID shutdowns, and the entertainment industry has sucked up so many of those. Server production, entertainment system production, TV production, everything is up 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
People buying new TVs,
Everyone's
buying PlayStations.
Yeah,
buying just anything they can. And it's bizarre because it has created this global shortage of semiconductors in particular. Semiconductors, of course, make up, chipsets for most everything.
Yeah.
That's the way they operate. But it's just interesting that something like that you'd never really think about. I mean, who would have thought that you would have a shortage of semiconductors when everything uses them? But here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, who thought we'd be this far into COVID, too?
Well, yeah, that's also true. Fortunately, the CDC has recently said we don't have to do masks anymore. So,
well, somebody saw it coming, right? Toyota.
They did. But Toyota, they changed their practices after the 2011 Fukushima disaster, the tsunami. They started stockpiling electronics because they saw how quickly they could run out of their stock when supply was cut off. And so from that point forward, it became a change to the company with how they held on to their electronics, what they stockpiled, and what they manufactured in-house. That didn't make them immune to this, but it definitely helped hedge their bets. Had COVID lasted the 2 weeks or 6 months or whatever instead of a year and a half, they probably would have been completely unaffected. Meanwhile, Ford is estimating a $2.25 billion loss this year because of, is it this year or is it this quarter?
It might be this quarter.
Yeah, just because of how many vehicles they're not getting off of the ground. We have some photos here. If you guys want to take a look at the photos, you can use the links below the podcast if you're listening and below the live video if you're watching along. We do appreciate you doing that.
That Speedway photo. Wow.
It's scary. It's scary. So this is a photo of them filling the Kentucky Speedway parking lot with Ford F-150s. And this is not it full. This is just them starting to file them in. Now it's full. Yeah. This is a photo from space. Look at this. Look at all of the vehicles. And obviously we have more vehicles over here on this other side that are being stored as well.
This is just one location too. You know they have more places.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Like my F-150 was built in Dearborn, Michigan. You can't tell me they're not affected by this, right?
Everywhere.
Right. So this is the Kentucky
plant.
And
this is one manufacturer. Everybody's affected by this. Domestic and imports.
As a matter of fact, I want to just go through some of the losses due to this. Ford anticipates shortages to cut even into 2022. That is pretty significant. General Motors had a global shortage of $2 billion in profits. They've been hit very hard by this. The Ingersoll Rand, Spring Hill, Ramos and many other plants have been affected. Buick Enclave, Chevy Blazer, Camaro, Equinox, Malibu, Silverado,
They're probably doing kind of a favor by discontinuing some of those.
Especially the Arcadia. They're not discontinued, but they're suspended.
Well, sorry.
Honda's suspended production of the Accord, Civic, Insight, and Odyssey at certain locations. Actually, it says, quote, most of its North American factories from the Honda spokesperson.
So that's just recent. So it took
Hyundai,
this long to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
We could use less Hyundais on the road.
My wife drives a Hyundai. It's a very nice car, but also yes. Jaguar Land Rover, speaking of cars that we don't necessarily need anymore, exactly. They are idling their Birmingham, UK.
Okay, so Honda suspends and then Jaguar idles.
I think they're just trying to use different terminology to spice their article up a little bit.
You know, I'm wondering if that's just the manufacturer, though.
It could be. It could be the manufacturer's language.
Well, yeah, because a Jag, you know.
Mercedes-Benz has reportedly halted production at 2 of its German plants. Nissan's operations in Tennessee have been undergoing production challenges since at least March.
Wow.
But again, the Leaf, Maxima, and Rogue, don't really care that much.
What this has done to used car prices?
They're all up. Everything's up.
Way up.
Stellantis, also known as Fiat Chrysler, huge shortages. 44 global manufacturing facilities have all run down to their just bare bones.
That's the thing. It's global, too.
Subarus in Lafayette, India. India. Subaru making the tuk-tuks. Have experienced a temporary shutdown in April. Toyota was initially unaffected by the shortage, but obviously it is coming back down around to haunt them now. The Volkswagen Group, who actually sounded this alarm in December of 2020, won't be affected by the shutdown. I think that's because nobody's buying Volkswagens.
Yeah, exactly.
Volkswagen's basically pulled out of North America, so I think that they're restructuring right now comes at just about the perfect time.
Well, the EPA just wrung them through the coals.
As they should have. I mean, they designed their vehicles to not show what actual emissions they were making. That's pretty damning.
Yeah. Now, is there one auto manufacturer that you would love to just see disappear?
You know, Volkswagen's had a good run, but I think it's time to go.
Volkswagen, huh?
I think so. I mean, listen, Kia's been stepping it way up. Hyundai's been stepping it way up. I think that production value of those, they might not be on par with Toyota and Honda, but bro, they are getting real close. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching any of the new automotive reviews, but like we're getting to the point now where virtually the only bad new car is the Smart. I mean, honestly, seriously.
True. But reviews only mean so much.
They can be paid for. Perfect example.
Dodge Neon.
Or the Fiero beating the supercharged MR2.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite one to reference was when Car and Driver was like, we'd prefer the Fiero. I was like, well, you guys are bought and paid for. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. No shit. Who in their right mind would do that shit?
Well, and you watch, it's like an 8-minute segment, and every single thing, they're like, Toyota once again comes out on top with faster slalom, faster top speed, more comfort, more ride quality, more amenities. The seats are better. The interior's better. Everything on the Fiero feels plasticky. Bits fell off while we were on the test drive. One hindrance to our fast lap was when the dashboard fell in our laps. You know, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, we'll take the crisp and quiet Fiero.
How many times have you watched that?
Many times. Sometimes I get drunk and I watch it just to get angry.
Oh, well, I could see that. I definitely could see that.
It's serious and it's blatant. That's why Top Gear became so popular, is because they clearly just didn't care. Like if it was a garbage car, they just said, fuck that car. We don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. Like Volkswagen.
Okay, what manufacturer do you want to see gone?
Mitsubishi.
Really?
Yeah. That's just one of those manufacturers I've never cared for.
Really? You didn't like DSMs, Evos?
No.
Starion?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, did you see they brought back the Eclipse?
Well, kind of, sort of, they did.
Yeah. But that's just it.
Yeah.
They need to go away just for that reason alone. Stick making boats.
So maybe it's like a betrayal of their past. Except for you didn't like their past anyways.
Well, yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck their past.
That's weird. Why don't you like DSMs?
Well, I'm a Honda boy.
Yeah, but DSMs were the performance vehicle of the late 90s.
No, those guys were cocky as shit back in the day.
That's because they were fast.
Well, yeah.
In 2002, I had a buddy who had a DSM, and he did all of the stupid stuff. I mean, he got injectors from, I don't know why, I can't remember the vehicle he got injectors from. It doesn't matter. They were like...
probably an Evo.
They were like 540 cc. No, it was something here in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
That dropped right in. It was a low impedance injector.
Uh-huh.
He pulled the plastic end cap that gives you the fuel atomization. Mm-hmm. It's like a shower head for the injector.
Yeah, yeah.
He popped that off, so it gave him another 80 or 90 cc's of fuel capacity. He crushed the top of his blow-off valve, a stock blow-off valve, to keep it from popping open too early. Really crushed it, like put it in a vise and crushed it down. I think it held like 25 psi before, and it didn't even really blow off anymore. It just more kind of like, let a little bit of air by.
Escaped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he threw on a diesel, like legitimately threw on a diesel turbo that came off of one of the 7.3 Ford turbo diesel.
Mm-hmm. Like an HX35 or something?
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of designation they had back then. I guess it was an HX. I think it was an HX30.
Yeah, whole set.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that son of a bitch was running like 12 and a half second quarters.
Well, and back then,
at the time,
yeah,
that
absolutely.
was crazy fast.
Exactly. See, like, that was the guy. He'd run a 12, and I'd be in my little fucking Honda Civic running like a 19.
Right.
Exactly. That's why I don't like those guys.
Well, that's kind of stupid, but I think it is time to move on.
Yeah, it makes sense if you don't think about it.
That is our motto here, isn't it? All right, man. I still don't have any intro or outro music for our Fabricated Suicide, by the way.
Okay.
We wanted to do some kind of something by this time, but since it all falls on me...
I feel like it needs to have like a Metallica intro.
Yeah, we've played around. I don't know what to do. So, you know what we're going to do today is we're just going to say it's time for Fabricated Suicide. You ready to do this? Introducing, ladies and gentlemen, the Gravel Hog.
Look at that beast. I want it.
I love the name Gravel Hog.
I want it.
You especially want it because the price just dropped.
Well, yeah, it was $900. And before it was just kind of like, yeah, that's $900. Like, that's a piece of crap.
$900 gets you a Honda.
Well, yeah, you could see like a little trail bike or something.
Right.
You know, that's $500. Like, you can get that guy down to probably $400, $450. I mean, if you already dropped the price, $400, it's been on there a week. You know, his old lady is bitching and complaining that this thing's taking up half their driveway.
Well, yeah, because it is a literal pile of parts.
Well, yeah, but $500.
I know.
I feel like I could get $200 together pretty quick, and you could get $200 together pretty quick, and we could go get this thing.
I'm not even sure where Lakeside, Oregon is.
I think it's like kind of on the coast.
It looks that way from the map here. What do you suppose this front end is from? So, as a matter of fact, let me just give a quick rundown of this thing. So, it looks like it has a golf cart front end, honestly, because it's got what appears to be a very short travel, and it appears to have golf cart wheels with some sort of turf tires on them in the front.
It almost looks like a Honda Odyssey cage.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. It looks very Honda Odyssey-esque, but the front end does not look like a Honda Odyssey.
Could also be just one of those little kit go-karts.
Exactly. But it does have double wishbone suspension and does have shocks up front.
I mean, do you think they bought it on Wish?
If Wish existed in 1982, yes.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so it's got a front steering assembly. Again, it's double wishbone. It's got big, wide turf tires in the front. A very go-kartish seat, a very go-kartish / Odyssey ATV cage over the top. basic everything. Like, it's just, this looks very go-kartish to me. This looks like one of those Chinese go-karts. Matter of fact, that might even be what it is an early version of one of those Chinese go-karts where it had a swing arm in the back that the motor and everything rested on. Do you remember those?
Wow. You're kind of dating yourself there.
So it could be, I had one of those when I was a kid. So it could be something like that, but then let's move around to the back here. It literally
That's where things get interesting.
So a snowmobile, visualize this for a second. Where does the front stop? Like just past the engine. What is there?
The forks, right?
The forks are technically on either side of the motor. I mean, the motor really is the central point, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Okay. This thing is an entire snowmobile with the skis taken off of the front, welded onto the back of this
that's
China
exactly
go-kart.
what they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like you could still ride on the snowmobile part of that. You could probably have it either way.
100%. 100% you could still ride on the snowmobile. As a matter of fact, I'm sure he invites people to ride on the snowmobile. You can see actually where the bars come through right here.
Yeah.
And here's the fuel tank right in front of that.
That thing handles pretty good. That wide of a track in the back?
I doubt that.
You don't think so?
No, I think this thing handles like shit.
We need to acquire this.
Scott, I may have a few bucks laying around that I'll send you home with. I don't have a trailer, man.
I've got the truck. I've got the trailer. We could go do this.
Again,
you've got the property to keep it.
But the name of the segment, once again, is Fabricated Suicide. So you're going to have to understand that we could kill ourselves on this.
All right, now hold on. Question. Can I take a shopping cart and put it on the front of that? Because technically that's one wheel in the back.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you show up with this to the BR2K, I'm kicking you out after we watch you make a few laps.
Okay.
All right. So from what I've gathered, first of all, the ad has very few words. It says, this thing is a 330cc gravel road eating machine. If you like drifting, you will love this beast. 700 OBO. I'm into trades as well as cash. Now, 700 OBO, up when it was originally listed, it was $900. Now it's down to $500.
Yeah.
So he knows that this monstrosity at $1,000 is not enticing, and he's trying to figure out how low does he have to go before somebody's like, fuck it, I can't live without it.
Well, his rent's probably due.
Sure.
So, if we wait long enough.
It might not be the rent, it might be the payment on his trailer.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. To haul around the Gravel Hog.
And let's talk quickly about this. It says on the side, Safari LXE. I did a little bit of research. Mm-hmm. The Safari LXE is a Ski-Doo. He says 330cc. These were only available in 1991. The Safari LXE in a 436cc capacity. So either he's changed the motor out or he just has mistyped.
Either way, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, either way, it's going to have 40 or 50 horsepower.
Yeah, start a GoFundMe or something.
How much horsepower do you think this has? It's got to be 40 or 50, right?
Oh, absolutely. It has to be at least 50, right?
I would sure think so. Snowmobiles, they produce a lot more power than people realize because it takes more power than you realize to make its way through the snow.
Well, they're usually the CVT as well.
Right.
So that would be fun.
Well, yeah.
That would be fun.
You hit the gas and it goes full throttle, and then things start blurring past your face.
We'd have fun.
You need some nitrous on this bitch, man.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about methanol.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. So even if this needed a motor rebuild when you got it, at $500, what do you think?
It's cool, but that's just a bunch of parts someone hobbled together.
So at $500, if you got there and he couldn't get it to start, what would you then offer him?
$250, $300 probably.
Yeah, you'd go as high as $300, you think?
Yeah, probably.
You're going to put another $300 into it for a motor.
Oh, so just make it faster.
So you're going to be $600 into this thing?
I'll be $1,000 probably.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. By the time you get the shopping cart on there and everything, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that's cheaper than cremation. We want to know what you guys think about the Gravel Hog and also about this new segment. If you like the segment, let us know. If you like the Gravel Hog, let us know.
And if you want to chip in a few bucks.
that's always a bad way to go. People who share projects, that is peak poor, Scott. You know that.
Yeah, true. I need to go fund me.
That Gravel Hog has been enticing me, though. I'm going to tell you that straight up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I need it.
Absolutely. I want to co-own it with you.
Well, whoever kills himself first wins.
All right. That works.
Fair enough.
True. Tape it for everybody to see.
You can't throw a shopping cart on that. I'm sorry, but we can't do it.
We'll see.
I might need to make a rule just for you. This is no tracks.
Shit. All right, getting specific on rules and stuff.
I'm still worried about you showing up with a dirt bike in the front of your shopping cart.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see. Just don't put a limit on the CCs.
I haven't yet, but it depends on what we start seeing for people's builds.
Well, I'm not sending any pictures.
I know you're not.
No,
that's the grudge racer in you.
Exactly.
Oh boy, you know what?
Prince Blandy over here.
I think it's time for Smokin' Dealer Smokin' a Doob, because this one, it is a hot, steaming.
Speaking of carts,
should I let you throw a shopping cart on this one? We'll see.
Smokin' Deal or Smokin' a Doobie.
This week's Smokin' Dealer Smokin' a Doobie I found, and no wait. I did find it, but I found it in the Horsepower Hour podcast group. That's facebook.com/groups/the Horsepower Hour podcast. If you're not already a member of that, we do encourage you to come and check that out and join, because there is tons of content that gets posted over
Absolutely.
there. Not just stuff like this.
A lot of memes.
A lot of memes. If you like memes,
love memes.
Everybody loves memes.
Everybody does.
It's a mixture of memes, project cars, and depression.
Mixed with some shopping cart-esque vehicles.
Well, yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No Hondas.
Well, you had an opportunity to share yours and you didn't, so I don't know what to tell you.
All right, sorry.
This thing, though, I actually just want to read the description real quick, okay? And then we can move into it. For sale or trade is a nice pontoon deck for sale or trade for a nice pontoon deck or runabout boat. This is a very rare, one-of-a-kind, two-passenger ride. It still has four wheels, runs great and drives great. Power steering and power brakes, LED headlights and taillights. Has LED strip lights. This was made from a 1994 Pontiac Grand Am. It was built for events and car shows. Low miles, 88K, but odometer shows more, but not correct. Okay. Okay, Boomer.
Well, did you read the title?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right, sorry.
But my wife and I have taken trips in it. It turns heads. It had a small windshield on it, and I put a larger one on. But there's a place on the dash from the old windshield. All metal, no fiberglass. There's two Bluetooth stereos, but only one goes with it. Has a V6 and auto transmission. Runs great and great on gas. Doubt. Has lots of power. Doubt. Well, maybe for this. I don't know. We'll get into it. Has lots of power. Clear title, but not a trailer. Trailer has a VIN number, so you could probably get a title for the trailer. Trailer has new tires. Wait, what? But not, has lots of power, have clear title. Oh, but not on trailer. No clear title on the trailer. See, listen. Again, this is an okay Boomer moment.
Well, where's this posted to?
This is such a difficult thing to read. There's pauses in middles of sentences with periods. What are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing? How many times have I read this and I'm still fucking this shit up because you are just this is even worse than a run-on sentence. He's got
like click their profile.
I don't even want to know.
I mean, like, you know, he's a boomer,
bro. I don't want to know.
It's posted in Tennessee, so you know he's probably moonshine. He's feeling pretty good. His old lady's making him sell this thing.
Sorry, let me finish the rest of this ad in a Tennessee accent.
Thank you.
Has a lot of power. Has clear title, but not on the trailer. Trailer has the VIN number, so you could probably get it title for a trailer. Trailer has new tires. And reverse track tires has maybe 200 miles on the tires. Call or text, blah, blah, numbers that I've all thrown in because I think I'm fooling the algorithms by doing this.
Well, see,
a chance to own something different, Scott. Mr. Howard, the seats need covers. They're out of a Polaris Razor XP 1000. There. You like that?
I did. Great effort.
Okay. So the title, what does it say?
Unique reverse trike want tubby.
WANTAB.
Yes.
Want to be.
Want tubby. Correct.
Want to be.
Do you think it says that on the title?
Unique trike. Want to be.
That's not how I read that.
I love Wantabi wheels.
Correct. Wantabis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm telling you, bro, you shouldn't race him.
They
He's
make the
running
exhaust, right?
Yeah, he's running a Wantabi exhaust.
Exactly. Exactly.
And 2 Wantabi engines. Yeah, with Wantabi exhausts. I'm telling you, bro, he's got more than 100,000 Wantabis in this thing.
Bet you a Wantabi. This thing is cut in half in a few places.
I'm going to quickly scroll through the photos. What's the price on this thing, Scott?
$8,800. Well, I mean, look at that trailer, though.
Dude,
Well, hold on. It only has one seat?
I thought it was a 2-seater.
But there's one seat in it.
No, it's a tandem seat.
Oh,
There's a seat behind
it. It has Lambo doors. It doesn't say that in the description.
It's got teeny tiny Lambo doors.
And it has a Razor roof. So
So-
he used seats and the roof from a Razor.
Someone honestly looked at their 1994 Pontiac Grand Am and said, hot damn, this son of a bitch has got too many doors and way the fuck too much glass in it. You realize that?
This would be fun to gamble. Tell me this wouldn't be fun to gamble.
It would be fun to gamble, but I don't know if I could be seen in it or not.
At the Gambler, I could.
If there was a 0 taken off of this price, again, it is $850 is what they're asking for this. If we took the 0 off of the end, I 1000% would already own this.
Oh, absolutely. We'd hook a trailer up to back on the back of it.
Yeah.
Go get the Gravel Hog.
Yes, dude.
Absolutely.
That is what I'm talking about right there. And when this thing can't make it up the hills when we're coming back through Oregon, we just fire up the Gravel Hog and back it down off of the trailer, just the rear.
Okay, I like
Help
it.
push us back up,
I
you
like
know?
it.
So listen, yeah, it's got these weird little Lambo doors. It's got this weird roof that's covering you. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. I don't even know.
Just went into a wrecking yard and just started ripping parts off, just trying to make whatever the hell they could.
If you guys want to see
hold on.
this,
That says Coleman Caboose on there too.
That's the trailer, yeah.
Okay.
I assume.
I'm assuming too. Wow.
It's literally a suitcase on lawnmower tires.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. The car can't pull it that fast. There's no way. Well, hold on. That's a V6?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. Front wheel drive?
Front wheel drive.
Okay. Kind of lame.
I will grant
What does
you.
he have on the cowling there? Is that diamond plating? That's diamond plating.
Yep, that's diamond plate. Good eye.
Fucking custom.
See, and you said you were too high to do the show.
Well,
look at you.
You know. Surprise myself sometimes.
All right, listen. I'm going to throw this out there. How would this scenario, this vehicle scenario, change for you if it had one of the supercharged 3.8s in it?
Not much.
No?
No, not at all.
Let's pretend that there was a 0 taken off of that. And so let's pretend that, at $900 you were like, shit, I might go and pick this thing up.
Well, absolutely.
What if it had the supercharged 3.8? How would that affect your price on it?
Well, the 0's still taken off, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'd still go get it.
Okay, you're still a little too high to realize what I'm saying. Let me break it down. It's a supercharged 3.8 in it. Mm-hmm. Starting bid at $200 or $2,000.
That's a lot of money for that car. That's a lot of money.
$1,800
No, there's no way you can pay more than $1,000 for that
with the supercharged 3.8 in it.
That means nothing.
It means you're going to have the fuck ugliest trike at the drag strip running
anywhere,
but
for dirt cheap.
It's going to be in a trike. It's going to be in a trike running low 12s.
I'd rather put something like that in a Gravel Hog.
So there is no, if this thing actually had real power, that changes nothing for you.
No, because you wouldn't want to go fast in that.
What if it had an LS4 with a front-wheel drive transmission?
Ooh, some off-road tires on there.
Starting bid of $2,500.
No,
$2,000.
Like the LS4, like still, where are you going to take that?
$1,800.
No, like you can't pay more than
What?
Okay, maybe $1,200 at that point.
What?
Maybe $1,200.
That engine transmission combo is worth $2,000.
How much would you pay for that?
With an LS4 in it?
$3,000. $2,500.
No, you can stop doing that. I'm thinking this through logically and rationally because I'm a rational person.
I'm a Honda kid, so you know.
I could see him throwing, if this had an LS4 in it, I could see him going $4,500 and people. I would,
so?
Oh yeah, I would
Just
stroke
for the
my
swap,
beard. No, because it is the craziest looking.
But what would you pay for it? Not what other people would pay. What would you pay for it?
Right now, as it sits,
Yeah.
this is a $1,700 vehicle.
You think so?
I think so.
That's what you would pay?
If it's what I could
Because you asked me what I would pay, which is different than what I think it's worth. You know what I mean?
Why do you do this to me, Scott? Why do you do this to me?
I'm just saying, like,
we're not going to go through the entire exercise all over again, but I will revise my question. What is it worth?
Oh, what is it worth? It's worth $2,500, $3,500, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just someone's going to take that to Cars and Coffee, some boomer, and he's gonna have fun with it. You know he is. And he's going to enjoy getting all the questions. Well, what is that? And then he's going to make up some like
it's a giant piece of shit.
Well, yeah, but he'll have a fancy way of saying it, you know, in a boomer fashion.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think it's worth.
Please take it from me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to die.
No, he'll tell everybody they can't afford it. You know he will. You know he will. And he's going to wear that little visor hat that's got the fake hair in the top. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, so speaking of boomers with the fake hair, with those visors, I have a feeling this might actually be pretty quick now. You've removed 2/3 of the vehicle.
True.
This can't weigh more than 1,500 pounds.
I'd be curious to see how much it actually weighs.
But logically, I mean, doesn't that about make sense? Mm-hmm. It probably weighs about the same or maybe a little less than a stock Festiva. I use Festiva as my unit of measure now.
Yeah, I know.
And it's got 130, 140-ish horsepower, probably-ish, in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, 94 Grand Am.
90s GM.
Is this a 3... That's a 3.4, isn't it? Oh. It's not the 3.8.
For some... Yeah, it's probably a...
I'm pretty sure it's a 3.4.
It's probably a 3.8.
You think so?
I don't know. They had a lot of weird engine sizes in those years.
Because if it's a 3.8, then that's going to make 150, 160 horsepower. And so I could honestly, legitimately see this bike. I could honestly see this monstrosity running maybe like a mid 14.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's light, bro.
It'd be shaking like fucking crazy.
It's 10-to-1 power to weight ratio. That, by anybody's standards, is going to be good for a high 14.
We'll see. Road trip.
So, obviously, 8850, that's insane.
Oh, yeah. He's higher than I am. That's ridiculous.
If it was $4,000, though, you could reasonably see someone paying that.
Someone maybe. Like, he could probably talk a fellow boomer into it. Mm-hmm. But
become a Florida car.
There we go. Yeah, like if he took it down to Florida, and he convinced someone that like Howard Hughes owned this or some bullshit, he could offload
to Ron Jeremy.
There we go. Exactly.
That's what the hole in the seat's for.
Yeah, exactly. See that little wear spot right there? That's not the coffee stain. No, that's the Ron Jeremy stain.
And listen, I apologize to you guys that are on audio only. I cannot accurately describe this.
You have to look. You can't.
Yeah, it has to be seen to be believed.
It's one of those things that, like, if you're listening, you just have to actually look at it. Because this monstrosity, it screams like 90s meets trailer park. I mean, quite literally meets, I don't know, like West Coast Customs.
Not even the headlights really look GM to me.
No, like I thought they were an Accord when I first saw it, like a 2000-ish Honda Accord.
It does. It looks like Accord headlights.
Yeah.
It looks like an Accord, maybe like a late 90s.
That's not a Grand Am bumper on there. Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of all kinds of randomness.
Yeah, maybe the Grand Am. Okay, drive train, front suspension, the wheels, maybe the disc brakes. Well, did they even have disc brakes in the back in those Grand Ams?
I don't know. I mean, it only has one rear wheel in the back, right?
Two. It's got two rear wheels.
It doesn't really show, like, everything that I want to see, it doesn't show. Like, I have so many questions.
You can get a little bit of a shot right here.
That almost looks like the front of an airplane.
Yeah,
I agree. He uses that as a selling point to his fellow boomers.
It looks like an airplane.
I pulled this off a 757.
The scary thing for me is how they hook the trailer up. That just looks ridiculous.
That's Harbor Freight.
The more I look at it, the more I'm like, is that a carbiner there?
Oh, shit. That is, yeah.
See what I mean? Like, I'm looking at this going, none of that's safe.
Oh, no. Nothing about this car says safe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This thing, a hodgepodge doesn't even begin to describe it. It legitimately looks like a European bumper car.
I wonder if it comes with a cat.
That actually reduces the price, so don't do that.
Kind of looks like yours.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't it?
Kinda. Yeah, I don't know. I think this guy is. Someone told me a good one the other day. I think this guy's high as a whale. And then my question was, well, whales are in the ocean, so wouldn't that be low like a whale? And they said, imagine being a whale, reaching the top of the ocean, and you're now at the top of the ocean. Your first thought would be, I'm high as shit, son.
True.
It's all about perspective.
It is. It is.
And let me tell you, the perspective on this is not good. Not good at all.
No, not at all.
I'm with you. I'm going to go like $3,000 is what someone might pay for this.
Yeah, like even then, he's going to have a hard time finding somebody.
Whenever you have a car like this, even if it was the most amazing, if it was a Callaway twin turbocharged Corvette from 1985, amazing car, unique, but trying to get what it's quote unquote worth, that is a tough sell.
Yeah, there's only so many people.
Yep, exactly. And I think that I think the market for that twin turbocharged 1985 Corvette is actually larger than this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Abomination. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Well, there it is, guys. That's our Smokin' Deal or Smokin' a Doob. If you have thoughts about this vehicle, if you feel like we didn't hit the mark, if we feel like we did hit the mark, hit us up, let us know, because, man, that is just... It's hard to even describe the way I'm feeling right now. Disgusted at myself for having seen that, maybe.
Would you buy it?
Smokin' Deal or Smokin' a Doobie?
Fuck no.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I mean, okay, well,
I wouldn't even pay the $1,000. Like,
okay,
you never did answer me
that's
what
not
you
true.
would actually
That's
pay.
not true. You would pay the $1,000.
No, I still wouldn't.
If my next door neighbor had this and he said, yeah, I got to get rid of it, I need $1,000 for it. Yeah, okay, maybe $1,000 is that's going to be a hard one.
Maybe if the cats are still there, the catalytic converters.
If I can trade him a Yoder smoker for it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, seriously, just looking at this thing, I would need it to be $1,000 or less.
Yeah, definitely less.
Again, if it had a performance motor in it, I would do more just simply because
you could pull the engine out and then sell it, and then
no, I'd roll it. I'd cruise it. The thing is, it's got to be fast. If something this ugly is going to be in my possession, then it has to be fast. So I'm kind of a fan of that sort of shit. Like, I like ugly cars that are fast.
Okay, you know,
hence
honestly,
my Turbo Festiva.
I would do something completely different. Have you seen on Facebook the Car Club for Boomers? Mm-hmm. I would just totally rock the New Balances every time and just act like a total fucking boomer of this thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'd be fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
And if it was fast, if it actually had a performance engine in it.
Did you just sell me a trike?
I don't think so. Do you have $8,800 spent on this?
No.
Then I did not sell you a trade.
No, you didn't. No. Okay. Just want to make sure.
The Gravel Hog, on the other hand,
you have me sold. You have me sold.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that we need to make that happen.
And it's in Oregon.
The cart dog. Just saying.
No, we're not putting a shopping cart on that. No way, no how. I absolutely refuse. Scott, if people want to find you online, where can they find you, buddy?
I'm not sure. NSA probably.
Okay, so he doesn't want to be found. So, you can
find me on Instagram at beardedss.
Don't do that. Don't do that. He's just going to think that you're like a CIA agent.
Yeah, probably not.
He doesn't want you tracking him.
Yeah. You can see my car. I've got a few cars on there.
One more time. What was that?
At beardedss.
Go and check him out, guys.
I couldn't think of anything else.
Please change the name of your Instagram to the FBI and then follow him. That would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that actually would.
Find us everywhere you find your fine podcasts. Facebook.com/Horsepower Hour, The Horsepower Hour, excuse me. Instagram is at The Horsepower Hour. Leave us those reviews, guys. We love them and we appreciate them. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And for Scott Hart, this is Andy. We will see you next time.